Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dychronic, your host here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be showing you where the Xur is for April 17th, 2020. So everything that's in his inventory, where he is, all the random rolls, and all of my recommendations for the Xur. And as you can tell, I have a pretty kitty here on my chair that I will be sitting on many a time for many a video. So the Xur can be found in his regular location in the tower. So you just make your way into the hangar in the northwest side of the tower. You can find him here right next to a bunch of railings, some stairs, and all that whatnot. And please, for the love of God, somebody tell me if this staircase was here before, because I do not remember this staircase being here and always seem to jump up this thing, but feels like I should just use it. Anyways, let's take a look at the Xur. So this is a high overview of everything that he has available, in case this is all you cared about. Starting up with the weapon, we have the Coldheart Trace Rifle, a weapon that came as a pre-order bonus with the base game that used to be the DPS king, but ever since special weapons has fallen off the radar. Its main perk, Cold Fusion. This weapon shoots a steady fusion-powered laser, and the more important part, the longest winter. Coldheart's laser does exponentially more damage, up to twice as much, by the way, the longer it remains on a target. Now, I've done DPS tests that goes up to double the damage, which is still pretty significant, but as compared to things like shotguns, snipers, it's just nowhere close to the amount of DPS that you can do. However, obviously you can do this at a long range. It's a bit easier to do, and you have a ton of ammo, pretty decent total ammo damage as well. I believe the catalyst comes from strikes, and it has multiple ornaments. This is actually the reverse version. If you don't know, the regular Coldheart, as you fire it, it becomes and looks a little bit more like this, and this happens in the reverse, and this has electricity. So overall, I just don't understand when you'd use this. It feels like this weapon just became outdated. They need to update it in a way that makes sense. I don't know, maybe it would be cool if this thing like slowed down targets as you continue to fire. Once you got to like the 2x thing, it would slow them down. Maybe that would be a cool utility for like champions, but right now it's like, who cares? Moving on to the Hunter Exotic, we have the Knucklehead Radar. Its main perk, Upgraded Sensor Pack, provides radar while you're aiming and enhances your radar while you're crouched. So basically, this is third eye in an exotic. I would say this is definitely an exotic that has some good benefits for PvP. But it just seems kind of basic. But if you like your radar, you're very defensive, you use Ace of Spades for the radar, you can use this to get radar with anything else. As far as the role goes, primary and discipline, obviously there's not really much synergy with this, but I would say this is more of a PvP centered exotic, so I'd like to see a lot more recovery and mobility, and it does have a decent recovery and mobility. Everything else doesn't really matter. Discipline is not really the best on hunters because their grenades are really not that great. So I would say maybe like an average roll on a maybe above average exotic. That does have an ornament that makes it look pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, okay. Moving on to the Titan Exotic, the Armamentarium. An exotic that people consistently tell me that I'm underrated, and I keep on telling them that they were overrating. Ow, I hit my elbow. So if you haven't heard of it, it basically gives you another grenade charge. Now, personally, if something says it gives you an extra charge of grenade, melee, or your class ability, I don't really care. That is often something that gets used up immediately, and yes, there is overflow once you get your full grenade. Then you get overflow until you use your grenade, and that is a good thing. But as compared to something like Hallowfire Heart, where you can just get your grenades 4 times faster and your melee 4 times faster, there's really no competition, and I don't understand why someone would want to use an Armamentarium over Hallowfire if you're using solar. Now that's obviously the caveat, is that this is very universal, but almost every time you have an option to make your regeneration faster or that particular thing do more damage, and I prefer those exotic. As far as the role goes, primary in discipline, definitely great synergy. Secondary in resilience just happens with Titans, will help with your recharge rate of your barricade if that's something you're into. So I would say maybe above average role for, honestly, below average exotic. That does have an ornament that I don't have. Maybe that's why I don't like this exotic, because I don't have the ornament. This exotic actually does look really nice with a bunch of different shaders. I don't really like the camo aesthetic, but this thing actually paints pretty well. And finally, we have the Warlock Exotic, the Crown of Tempests. I believe my #1 favorite Warlock Exotic in the game. Its main perk, Conduction Tines, arc ability kills increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities and extend the duration of your Storm Trance. Now this is specifically more a PvP exotic, and they have nerfed arc web and a couple of things in that particular class. I believe it's Conduction. But this is still one of my favorite exotics, if not my #1 favorite Warlock Exotic in the game. Because getting more recharge rate from your ability, from your skill, and your usage is something that I really like. As I just mentioned with the Armamentarium, if I can get a faster recharge rate on thing, that is what I care about the most, and it's just the most fun to just be able to shoot out your Kamehameha ball, get some fast regeneration, throw your grenade, get even faster, and nearly have a full grenade in melee by the time you're done, and then shoot the melee, get your grenade, and just back and forth. It's so good. You know, I'm just thinking about it. I wonder if Arc Soul counts as arc ability kills. That actually might make everything even faster. As far as the role goes, primary in intellect is definitely a synergy because it has to do with the extended duration of Storm Trance. Secondary mobility is not really that great of a synergy. I'd like to see more in discipline and strength because that is what it's about. You know, it's not a bad role. I'd say it's a decent role. So maybe like an average role for the #1 favorite Warlock Exotic in the game that does in fact have an ornament to make it look a little bit more like the Ice Queen. And that's pretty much it for the weapons and armor. Outside of that, make sure you're picking up your 5 of Swords for high-scoring Nightfalls, picking up your Invitation of the Nine for a powerful gear and lore on every single character, and finally, Exotic Engram, guaranteed to give you an exotic that you do not have from any of the world drops. And because I'm bored, let's go ahead and see if we can get it, because this will also drop with a higher total stats. With the world's worst exotic in the game, that's what I like to see, getting that maximum strength. Why do I get the worst exotic in the game when I... God damn it, sir. Anyways, that's going to be pretty much the end of it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, concerns, tips, tricks, I missed something, or you just wanted to say hello. Let me know in the comments down below. I love how that rhymes. But yeah, that's it. My name's Dychronic, and I will see you guys on the next one.